78% of people will die never having accumulated more than $10,000 in savings. Let that sink in. 3 out of 4 people you know right now are on a direct path to financial failure. And if you're watching this, there's a good chance you're one of them. But here's what makes this truly insane. Every single one of those people will tell you they want to be rich. They'll say they're working toward it. They'll post quotes about success on social media. They'll talk about their dreams over coffee. And then they'll go home and do the exact same things that guarantee they stay broke. You say you want wealth, but your calendar says otherwise. You say you want freedom, but your bank account tells a different story. There's a Grand Canyon-sized gap between what you claim you want and what you actually do every single day. And that gap, that's where your dreams go to die. The harsh truth is this: you are not a victim of the economy, your boss, your background, or your circumstances. You are a victim of your own choices. And until you face that reality, until you stop lying to yourself about why you're still broke, nothing will change. The behaviors you repeat daily are either building wealth or destroying it. There is no neutral. Every decision compounds. And right now, most of your decisions are compounding in the wrong direction. So what exactly are you doing that's keeping you poor? Let's get specific, because this isn't about bad luck or timing. It's about patterns you repeat so often they become invisible to you. First, you're treating your time like it's infinite. You scroll for 2 hours a night. You binge shows you'll forget in a week. You say yes to every social invitation that adds nothing to your life. Meanwhile, the wealthy are treating every hour like it's worth $500 because to them it is. They're reading contracts while you're watching clips. They're building relationships while you're refreshing feeds. Time is the only asset you can never get back. And you're giving it away for free to algorithms designed to keep you distracted and broke. Second, you're buying comfort instead of investing in assets. That daily coffee, that new phone, that weekend trip you put on credit because you deserve it. These aren't treats, they're taxes on your future. You're renting temporary feelings of success instead of building actual wealth. Every dollar you spend on comfort today is a dollar that can't compound into freedom tomorrow. The wealthy delay gratification. They drive old cars and live below their means while their money works for them. You do the opposite. You look rich while staying poor. Third, and this is the big one, you've adopted a victim mentality so deep you don't even recognize it anymore. Everything is someone else's fault. The system's rigged. Your boss doesn't appreciate you. The economy's broken. You didn't have the right opportunities. Listen closely. Every excuse you make is a brick in the prison you're building around yourself. Wealthy people face the same obstacles, the same rejections, the same setbacks. The difference, they take responsibility anyway. They see problems as puzzles to solve, not excuses to quit. When you blame external factors, you surrender all your power. You become a passenger in your own life. And passengers never get rich. They just complain about the destination. You're also surrounding yourself with people who validate your mediocrity. Your friends are broke, so being broke feels normal. Your family never built wealth, so you believe it's not possible for you. You spend your time with people who make you feel better about staying the same, instead of people who challenge you to level up. Show me your 5 closest friends, and I'll show you your future net worth. If everyone around you is financially struggling, guess what? That's your destiny too, unless you change your circle. Comfort feels safe, but it's the most expensive thing you'll ever buy. Let me tell you what this actually costs you, not just in money, but in the life you'll never live. 10 years from now, you'll be sitting in the same apartment, driving the same car, having the same conversations about how expensive everything is, except now you're older. Your body doesn't bounce back like it used to. Your parents are aging and need help you can't afford to give. Your kids are asking for things you have to say no to, and you see the disappointment in their eyes. That dream of traveling, gone. That business idea, too late. That respect you wanted from your family. They've stopped asking your opinion about anything important because your track record speaks for itself. The people who started with less than you have now lapped you twice. They're posting photos from places you'll never see. They're sending their kids to schools you can't afford. They're having conversations about investments and opportunities while you're still trying to figure out how to make rent. And the worst part, it's not that you didn't have time or resources. It's that you had them and you wasted them. Every day you chose comfort over growth was a day you voted against your own future. I know a man who spent his 20s playing video games and working a job he hated, but never quit because it was easy. He always said he'd start his business next year. He'd get serious when the time was right. 20 years later, he's 50 years old, still at that same job, watching younger people get promoted past him. His marriage fell apart because the stress of being broke bleeds into everything. His kids barely respect him. He lies awake at night doing math, trying to figure out if he can retire at 70, knowing deep down he probably can't. That's not a tragedy. That's a choice. A series of thousands of small choices to stay comfortable, compounded over decades. The price of staying the same isn't just money. It's your dignity, your relationships, your health, your peace of mind, and the respect of everyone who knows you could have been more but chose to be less. Now let me show you the other side. Let me show you what wealthy people do in the exact same situations. When they have 2 hours free at night, they don't scroll. They read books that teach them new skills. They take courses. They reach out to mentors. They work on their side business. They're not smarter than you. They just value their time differently. They understand that every hour is either an investment or an expense, and they've decided to invest. When they get paid, the first thing they do is pay themselves, not bills, not treats. Themselves. 10% minimum goes straight into investments before they even think about spending. They automate it so there's no decision to make. Then they live on what's left. You do the opposite. You pay everyone else first, and if there's anything left over, maybe you save it. Probably you don't. Wealthy people build assets first and lifestyle second. You build lifestyle first and wonder why you have no assets. Here's what else they do. They take extreme ownership. A deal falls through. They ask what they could have done differently. A business fails. They extract the lessons and move on. They're not sitting around blaming the market or the timing or their partners. They're already building the next thing because they know that blame is just wasted energy. Taking responsibility isn't about beating yourself up. It's about reclaiming your power. When you accept that you're in control, you can change your results. When wealthy people face fear, they move toward it. That uncomfortable conversation about money, they have it. That risky investment that could fail, they do their research and take the shot. That business idea that might not work, they launch it anyway and adjust as they go. Poor people wait for certainty. Wealthy people create it through action. They know that every successful person has a graveyard of failures behind them, and they're willing to add to theirs. And here's the big one. Wealthy people are obsessed with leverage. They're constantly asking, how can I get more output from the same input? They build systems, hire people, use technology, create products that sell while they sleep. You trade hours for dollars in a straight line. They multiply their efforts. They understand that working harder isn't the answer. Working smarter, building leverage, and letting their money and systems work for them is how wealth is actually built. One makes $100,000 a year and spends it all. The other makes $100,000, lives on 50, and invests the rest. In 10 years, one is still making $100,000. The other is making $100,000 from investments alone, plus their income. The gap widens every single year. So here's what you're going to do in the next 48 hours, not next week, not when you feel ready now. First, you're going to audit your time. Pull up your screen time report right now. Look at how many hours you spent scrolling this week. Multiply that by 52. That's how many hours per year you're donating to someone else's business. Starting tomorrow, you're going to reclaim just 1 hour, one single hour every day that you invest in learning a high-income skill, building a side business, or creating content that can generate passive income. 1 hour. If you can't find 1 hour, you're lying to yourself. Second, you're going to set up automatic transfers. 10% of every dollar you make go straight into an investment account before you touch it. I don't care if it's $10 or $1,000. The amount matters less than the habit. Open a brokerage account tonight. Set up the transfer tomorrow. Make it automatic so you can't sabotage yourself. Stop waiting until you have extra money. You'll never have extra money if you don't pay yourself first. Third, you're going to have one uncomfortable conversation. Call someone who owes you money and ask for it back. Message the potential client you've been afraid to reach out to. Tell your boss you need to discuss your compensation. Whatever conversation you've been avoiding because it's awkward, that's the one. Wealthy people have uncomfortable conversations daily. Poor people avoid them and stay poor. Pick up the phone, send the message, schedule the meeting, do it scared. Fourth, you're going to cut one major expense that's draining you. That subscription you don't use. That car payment that's crushing you. That habit that costs more than it's worth. Find one thing this week that you can eliminate and redirect that money into investments. Not next month, this week. These 4 actions will do more for your wealth in the next 48 hours than the last 48 months of wishful thinking. The question